pinned to the floor. You struggle for breath, tugging desperately at Eli's hand as he threatened to crush your throat. Eli, stop! Eli doesn't seem to hear your pleas. There's no recognition in those eyes, no hesitation, just feral rage. His grip tightens, cutting off your air completely. Your mouth's open, closes in silent, useless gasps as darkness claws at the edge of your vision. And then you're someone calling your name, and the world comes rushing back. Faith, oh no. No, Faith, please. Ugh. You jerk back into consciousness, coughing and gasping as Eli helps you into a sitting position. Eli, you're okay. Oh, Faith, what happened? Last thing I remember is passing out in this room, and then... He looks down at his hands, his tired face twisting with sudden anguish. I was trying to kill you. No, you were sick, and the epinephrine made you go berserk. It's not your fault. I had my hands around your throat, Faith. I saw the life leaving your eyes. He gets up, backing away, unable to look at you. You struggle to your feet, grimacing at the pain in your throat. Eli, what can I do to help? Nothing. Can you get Shannon? I feel dizzy and my heart's pounding. Yep, that'll do it. Okay. He nods, sits on the bed, head dropping heavily into his hands. Just tight with worry, you quietly walk out the door, leaving him alone. Hopefully you're all having a great day. Make sure that if you do enjoy the video, to like and subscribe. Be great. Chapter 13, Under One Banner. Nearly a week later, you, Dirk, Eli, and Shannon cross through the lobby of the lodge. Other colony members sit in small clusters speaking in low voices. We're finally having our alliance talks today. You'd think everyone would be a bit more excited. How can they be when you've invited the enemy behind our walls? I'm sure everything will be fine once we get everyone talking to each other. Yeah, let's see how positive you are when they steal your equipment from your precious lab. They wouldn't do that. Shannon throws a worried glance in your direction. Would they? No, we're allies. Beside her, Eli gives a tired shrug, his gaze fixed on the floor. Can't rule it out. I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before raiders turn on us. Dirk, you don't know Sledge. She's got a code she follows in the sense of honor. She won't betray us. Honor? You think the woman who pillages other colonies and tries to kill you has honor? One of these days, your naivete is gonna get people killed, Faith. I don't see you coming up with any better ideas, Dirk. We should at least consider beefing up the colony, just in case things go bad. Like, we need an armory, something that would give our fighters half a chance against the raiders' weapons. That would help defend us from zombies, too. Actually, I was hoping we could build a library, someplace to store books and other research. If we can pull all our knowledge together, I'm sure we can make breakthroughs to help combat the parasite. A library? You gotta be kidding me. It's not your decision, Dirk. It's face. So our military might is number one. We are like America. Ooh, cavemen smash. Yeah, no, I like intelligence. Yes. How on earth is that gonna help us? By being smirked? It's not just drones and scouts we have to contend with, Dirk. They're soldiers now, too. Who knows what else? The more we can learn about them, the better. What a joke. With an angry huff, he turns and storms out of the lodge, leaving you alone with Shannon and Eli. You can't make him happy no matter what, and I think, honestly, he's a spy for the tower. Walking past one of the small groups, you can't help noticing the way their eyes follow Eli, expressions ranging from awed to suspicious as they whisper to each other. Everyone's still talking about what happened. You tug self-consciously at your collar, all too aware of the obviously finger-shaped bruises striping your neck. It's not all bad, at least. Most people have never seen someone survive a zombie bite. Now that they have, well, it's giving them hope. You might want to change your shirt, maybe fix that arm a little, and maybe cover up that giant bite on your neck that looks like a bite? That kind of hope is dangerous. I got lucky. Doesn't change anything. It changes everything. We have a chance to study someone who successfully fought off the zombie parasite, which could be the key to developing a real treatment. I'm gonna need some more samples. Blood, cheek swabs, lymphatic fluid. Take whatever you need. Be nice if something good came out of all this. You being alive is good, but I digress. Stepping out of the lobby, you glance over at Eli to find him staring at the bruises on your neck. Eli, I told you I'm fine. Ask Shannon. I gave her a full exam. The bruises look bad, but there's no internal damage. It could have been so much worse. It wasn't. His face twists with anger. If I had turned, if I had bitten you or even killed you, then that would be on us. What happened to the rules, Faith? Eli, you were worth the risk. I care about you. I knew there was a chance it was too late, but I had to be sure. You just don't get it. You could have died. It was worth the risk. Do you think that's what I'd won? To have your blood on my hands? And I don't want yours on mine. The two of you are interrupted by a crash coming from the doors that leads to the cellar. What was that? Probably Dirk doing something stupid. There's no way drones could have gotten in here without someone seeing. And maybe it's some of our new friends helping themselves to our supplies. Eli draws his knife. You take your crossbow off your belt. Shannon follows a cautious distance as you descend the stairs. You peer into the cellar, crates and furniture stacked up against the wall, covered in cobwebs, and you spot the shadow of two figures further in. Who's in there? Show yourselves. Ah! The two figures whirl around, revealing Angel and Troy. You and Eli lower your weapons. What are you trying to do? Give us a heart attack? We thought you might have been the raiders, trying to steal something. What are you even doing down here? This place is filthy. And what's that smell? And also, how did you guys not clear the basement before now? It's potent. We're making moonshine. Angel cracks a crooked smile and steps aside to reveal a contraption made from copper pipes, glass tubes, and beakers. That's not the best use of our food. We used fruit that was going bad. It was going to be thrown away anyway. Besides, we could all die in a week. I think we deserve a bit of a break before then, don't you? Fine, but if you're going to keep doing this, the grain is strictly off limits. Angel opens a valve, decanting a small amount of liquid into a cup. You can have the first taste test, Faith. Or, should we say splitter? Oh, please don't. But it's so badass. Yeah, it's like you're really one of the raiders now. With a shake of your head, you take a small sip of the moonshine. The sharp, sour taste hits the back of your throat, causing you to gasp. It's certainly alcoholic. Oh, that's what counts. Eli surveys the room with a frown. If there's anything of value in here, then keep it out of sight just in case the raiders do decide to go sniffing around. You really don't think we can trust them? Pays to be prepared. Pays to also realize that they're allies and you, you can be cautious, but they also just saved your life. They've spent their whole lives just doing and taking whatever they want. It's gotta be a hard habit to break. Just give them a little bit of this and they'll be your best friends. And if they decide to kill us all anyway, well, at least we don't have to die sober. Comforting. What can I say? I'm an optimist. That evening, you join the members of your colony, Sunflower Creek, the Builders, Iron Mountain, and Raiders in a tent, representatives from each group sitting around a table. It's piled high with fruits, veggies, meats, and other dishes. Everyone, even spectators, has something to eat. You weren't kidding about having supplies. Enjoy. There's plenty to go around. Keeping us people fed. That's what I like to see. It's incredible what you've done in such a few short weeks. It took us years to build this kind of food supply. Such prosperity is certainly not luck. Just then, several colony members come into the tent, bearing trays of fruit, tarts, pastries, pies, and laying them out on the table. Dessert courtesy of the I.O. Fruit Orchard. Everyone digs in, and soon it's humming with delight as they all try various trees. Oh god, this is delicious. Better than anything we've ever had in Ironmount. The fruit orchard boosted everyone's attitude. You can thank the elders of Sunflower Creek for that. They were generous enough to give us some of their trees. We were simply honoring the spirit of sharing. Speaking of sharing, can I get another apple tart over here? The people finish their meals. You go take a seat when Troy catches your arm and leans in to whisper, "Word of advice, if I were you, I'd be careful not to show any favoritism. If any group thinks you're ganging up on them, things could spiral out of control fast. So no pressure. And also using common sense. Thank you, Troy. Just make sure everyone feels heard. You should be fine." Give Troy a nod and sit down next to Dirk at the head of the table, clearing your throat to get everyone's attention. Now that we're all here and settled, we can begin the discussion of our alliance. How are we supposed to do that when you're invited such violent parties to this table? I don't see you complaining when our violence kept you safe from the zombies. The raiders offer us an excellent defense force. They are certainly worthwhile allies. And Faith hardly shies away from violence. She let the people of Ironmount kill Trent for the crimes he committed. She what? They were sacrificing people, so, you know. Alea, that's really not helping. I just meant that if you are willing to accept her, you should be open to doing the same with them. I wouldn't say we accept violence of any kind. At most, we tolerate it as a necessary evil. I don't mean the raiders aren't extreme. How are we supposed to trust them after all they've put us through? We're here, aren't we? We said we'd do the alliance thing, so we'll do it. Well, excuse me, but frankly, I got no reason to believe you. You'll keep your word. I vouch for the raiders. Sledge easily could have killed me and mowed this whole place down when I met to negotiate with her. Instead, she agreed to work alongside us and even provided us medicine to treat one of our own. That's more than enough for me. Thank you, Splitter. Not killing someone is hardly... I wasn't talking to you. Sledge silences Dirk with a glare and then casts her gaze around the rest of the table. If you all still doubt my commitment to this alliance, perhaps this will set your minds at ease. We brought a gift for Splitter today. Consider it a gesture of good faith. What is it? One of our best vehicles, outfitted with exterior defenses and additional weapons inside. It'll give you speed and power, good for taking out large numbers of zombies. For a moment, you're speechless, thinking back on the array of formidable war machines in the Raiders' fleet. These people have mass zombie extermination down to a science. We could have one of their best weapons protecting IO. Let me guess, diamond choice? Accept her offer to get your own very own Raider car, increase your fortification score, and unlock special moments through the book. And I said diamond choice. Fortifications. Thank you. That should really help with our foods runs and patrolling the outer wall. I thought you'd like it. We should get back to talking about the terms of this alliance. Oh, now you're calm. Now you're calm. Okay. Do you have an agenda, Faith? It was my suggestion. Splitter is the leader of IO. If we want a lackey's opinion, we'll ask for it. Dirk gapes for a moment and then slouches down in his chair, silently fuming. If the purpose of this alliance is mutual assistance, then I would quite like the Builder's help in fortifying Ironmount. Wait, well, Mina, do you think you can have some of your people do that? And what are you going to give us in return? We don't give our services away for free. Dad, it's called a trade. I'm sure there's something we can provide that would aid you. We'll be all too happy to discuss it once you figure that out. That's hardly in the spirit of alliance. Hold on. Ironmount can repair your tools. Skyweld is dependent on being able to build and repair itself to survive, right? But wouldn't it be easier if your tools were new? Ironmount has blacksmiths, craftsmen that are more than capable. See? That's all I was asking for. It's called you have to at least say this is what we need or whatnot. I'm not sure we have the means of doing those repairs now, but I suppose we can find a way. Perhaps we can decide on something more immediate, like we should focus on during the next week leading up to the solstice. The walls. If the zombies can't get in, then we don't have to worry about fighting them. But they're going to get in. We'd be better off spending time scouring for resources, weapons, food, whatever we can find. That's 2 ideas. Anyone else? Neither of those will help us defeat the Horde. We must all prepare to fight. We shouldn't have to turn to violence. There must be a peaceful solution. What exactly are you going to do? Seriously, what are you going to do to keep the zombies away from you? Give them canned goods? Yeah, it's called letting the zombies kill us. Our focus should be on... we do need to secure the perimeter. Our walls are the first line of defense against the zombies. The longer they hold, the less time we spend fighting. If we have to fight them all out, or at all... The discussion continues. Sledge leans back in her chair, look of mild surprise on her face. This is going better than I thought it would. Yeah, I gotta say, I wasn't expecting everyone to get a chance to weigh in. No one's trying to force us to change our ways. Well done, Faith. I'm sure it wasn't easy trying to manage so many different-minded people. No, it's what life should be, like hearing everybody out, hearing everybody's differences. It's honestly, we'd solve so much shit if we kept doing that. That's what I'm here for. Unfortunately, it seems we still haven't made any decisions. Well, maybe we're going about this the wrong way. There's no reason we have to figure all the terms of our alliance out today. Then what do you suggest? We just need to agree to work together for the next week, so we can face the solstice as a united front. If we survive that, we can figure out the rest later. That seems reasonable. I suppose that is one way to deal with this dilemma. Yeah. Might as well see who survives before we set anything in stone. Great. It seems like we're all in agreement, and hopefully everybody survives. Everybody nods their heads. Beside you, Dirk looks on in shock. That's it? Wait, you didn't get anything done. It's called the spirit of cooperation, Dirk. Like, are you shocked? We agreed to work together rather than alone. That's progress. You must be grateful for what blessings you have, even if they are not the ones you hoped for. Faith understands that. No one takes a side. Dirk exits a tent in an angry huff, and soon everyone drifts out to talk amongst themselves. You meet up with Eli, Shannon, Troy, and Angel, and the 5 of you meander across the lawn. At least that's done with. I can't believe how much they argued. You'd think they didn't want to work together. Actually, I didn't really see anybody arguing. Like, a little sensitive there, Shannon? Anytime you get a big group of people together, it's bound to happen. They tear each other apart. Sometimes literally. Ah, don't worry. I've doled out plenty of moonshine. Soon everyone will just getting along just fine. You mean we'll be dealing with drunken fights? Great. How do you feel like it went, Faith? I think it went better than expected. Sure, they didn't all get along, but by the end, it felt like they were closer to a compromise, and they did agree to keep the alliance. And, well, thanks to your masterful moderation skills. I saw you out there playing the field, making sure everyone felt like they were being heard. Thanks for the tip. That I didn't need. As you cross the lawn, you spot Mina approaching, Groat and Knuckles down near the shipping containers. Hey, I don't think we've met. I'm Mina, one of the builders. Groat. And this idiot's my boyfriend, Knuckles. Hang on, if you're a builder, do you think you could make a roll cage? If you've got the metal, I can wield anything you want. You wanna come see my car? It's pretty sick. And a lot comfier since I made him add a back seat. Hell yeah, lead the way. Watch the three of them head off, a little swell of hope growing in your chest. That's a start, I suppose. It's not enough. You follow his gaze to where one of the Ironmount Knights is talking with a member of Sunflower Creek. Hey, why don't you come grab a drink with us? I don't associate with violent warmongers like yourself. Piss off, then. Well, that could have been done better. I mean, he did accuse them of something, and that's how it escalates. You take a look around, relieved to find most people laughing and socializing, the mood light, despite the impending solstice. You spot Feather back by the lodge, telling a story to a delighted group of children. So, he was a dragon?
I suppose Godzilla is kind of like a dragon.
At least everyone seems to be in a good mood. I told you my moonshine would do the trick. Hey, I helped. You can't take all the credit. Neither can you, it's all face work. You catch a glimpse of Waltz and Sunflower Creek elders sipping drinks by the fire.
Getting away from the corporate world? I wish that'd been a thing where I came from.
Never too late to start.
Not much corporate left in the world, thank God.
This is true. God, what a world we'd live in if the corporate world went away. Warmongers went away. Be a beautiful world, wouldn't it? As you climb up the hill, you glance out over the field at the forest in the distance. What do you think our odds really are?
I don't know.
I'm scared of losing people. People are gonna die. Maybe not everyone, but no way we're getting through this unscathed. I mean, that's life, Faith. People die.
We've done everything we can to prepare. That's all we can do.
I know. I just wish it didn't have to be done. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Faith, I've been making significant strides in my research. I'm not sure I'm any closer to a cure, but I've gotten far better understanding of the mutations we've recently seen. What have you learned? Well, since the parasite is the same in all zombies, I have to assume scouts and soldiers emerge from standard drones. The development can't be random either, or we'd have seen far more of those types of zombies. What could be causing it? Mutation, genetic. I don't know, some kind of external force, maybe? I feel like I'm missing some key data. But since they're all cut from the same cloth, they should all be equally susceptible to my gas. So you're telling me you've made a ton more canisters? Guess you'll have to wait and see. Despite Troy and Shannon's playful banter, you feel your stomach turn over as you think about the battle to come. I'll catch up with you guys later. I'm gonna take a walk and get some air. You see a few of your friends exchange worried glances, but you set off towards the lodge before they can say anything. You know, sometimes you just need to think alone. A few people still eye Sledge warily as she stands by the garage, but as you climb the hill, Leia calls you over, standing next to a woman in a nice dress. Faith, I wanted you to meet my wife, Violet. Allie's told me so much about you. You have a wife? Since when? We've been married more than 5 years now. I'm afraid I'm not much of a fighter, but if you have clothes that need mending, I'm your girl. Oh, seriously? She patched a huge hole in my jeans earlier today. Darren, the blacksmith apprentice you saved in Ironmount, is sitting in a chair nearby. Gives you a wave. How have you been settling in, Darren? The builders have been keeping me busy, but if Hatchet let me take a look at the custom metalwork on the car, it's seriously incredible. You, be careful around that one. Their smile alone looks like it could break your heart. Okay, Mom. While you're up here, Faith, you also want to check in on him. She nods her head at the lone figure of Dirk, who's standing off by himself, swaying unsteadily on his feet. He scowls as you approach, taking a swig from his cup. Dirk, are you okay? No, I'm not. You're screwing everything up, letting those people walk all over you. You should be building up our walls, getting those allies of ours to give us whatever we need to do. No one listens to me because you're the great Faith Reeves. You can do no wrong. Look, I'm doing the best I can. Oh, if Io falls, it'll be your fault. He takes a step towards you and stumbles. You barely catch him. The smell of alcohol thick on his breath. He sighs, expression suddenly maudlin. Do you ever miss the tower? Oh, continue. I miss the tower? Never. Not after finding out what Blackstock was doing. Maybe we were safe there, but that was only because innocent people were being killed. I want nothing to do with that. Well, I wish I could forget everything that happened and just go back. You can't change the past, Dirk. You know what I miss most of all? Patricia. You feel your heart sink. Yeah, me too. Dirk fixes his bleary eyes on you. I wish you died instead of her. His words hit you like a blow to the head, leaving you stunned. You watch numbly as he pulls away from you, stumbling off into the darkness. You slowly sink into the steps, fighting off the guilty images of Patricia left behind in the cellar, the sound of that final gunshot. I can't believe he said that. You blink back tears as you look around for your friends. You see Eli heading for a small cluster of trees on the edge of your colony, while Angel prods the fire pit logs with a stick. Shannon sits in the grass, gazing up at the sky, and Troy is leaning against a nearby wall. Even Sledge catches your eye as she heads around back where her car is parked. I need to get out of my head. Maybe being with someone else for a while would help. Diamond choice, basically. Spend some quality time with one or more of the closest to you to deepen your bond and decide if you're really ready to take your relationship to the next level. What relationship? I'm gonna start off with Sledge. How's that make you feel? You find Sledge leaned up against the back wall, nursing a drink. She gives you a subtle nod as you approach. Hiding out back here. I'm not fond of crowds. I would have never guessed. Silence hangs over you both, and you rush to fill it in. So you're really not upset about what happened at the Sunflower Creek in the amusement park? Why would I be? I mean, you did try to kill me over it a few days ago. That's in the past. You've proven yourself. But most people don't get over something like that quite so quickly. I'm not most people. I'm realizing that, yeah. As the conversation lulls again, Dirk's words simmer in the back of your mind. Spit it out. Huh? You've been gaping like a fish for the last 5 minutes, so say it. It's just something Dirk said. It really got to me. She cocks an eyebrow to indicate she's listening. Before I founded the colony, I was part of another one, and long story short, they were going to kill me. My sister helped us escape with some friends, but she didn't make it. She and Dirk were really close, and he said he wishes I had died instead of her. And you care what that asshole has to say? I mean, yes, for my sister's sake. Dirk might be difficult, but he was a good friend once, especially to Patricia. I want to do right by her, and if that means putting up with him, so be it. I told you, sentiment just gets in the way. But it also keeps us together. I would never have gotten this far if people hadn't stood by my side. I want to do the same for them. Well, I doubt your sister would like someone wishing you were dead, even if it was one of her friends. You don't get it, Every leader has to deal with people who disagree, who think they could do a better job. But at the end of the day, it's your decision. And if I get it wrong, then that's on you. That's your responsibility as a leader. Then people die. Sledge takes another drink as you look out at the woods behind, or beyond, Aya's borders. Have you lost anybody before? Who hasn't? Did you do something that got them killed? Some of them. I made my mistakes, especially when I was first getting started. How did you end up with the Raiders? Their leader found me digging around the trash when I was a kid. He said if I made myself useful, I could stay. He was a prick, but he taught me how to fight and how to leverage power to get what I wanted. If you think he was a jerk, he must have done something bad.
The purpose of our trial is to put us all on the same level, but he still acted like he was above everyone, kept all the best food and supplies for himself. No one was particularly upset when I killed him.
Not to sound rude, but that kind of sounds like the way you and the rest of the raiders have treated other colonies.
Isn't that what this alliance is for, to move past that?
Sheila offers you her drink, and you take a sip, the alcohol burning your throat on the way down.
I might not understand all the nuances and hang-ups you have, but Splitter, but I understand family.
I didn't realize you had anyone.
Not all family is by blood. My parents died when I was a kid. I hardly remember them, but the Raiders, they've been through everything with me. They're my family.
She fixes her gaze on you.
And you're part of that now, too.
Thank you. Yep, family isn't just limited to blood. She takes a glass from you and throws back the rest of her drink.
Now, did you come here to just get all emotional, or was there another reason?
There might have been.
Are you coming on to me?
Oh, Jesus. Straight shooter. You caught me. Are you interested, or... With a smirk, she jerks her head towards the car, parked a short distance away.
Come on, then.
Oh. You climb in the backseat of Sledge's car after her, and as soon as you shut the door, she unceremoniously pulls her shirt over her head. Okay, there's no filter. Do you want me to strip, or...?
Your clothes will have to come off eventually. Might as well be now.
She doesn't know what foreplay is. Took off your armor, dropping the pieces onto the cluttered floor, your pants, shirt, underwear, quickly, all of it just boom, naked. She strips off the rest of her clothing, tossing them in the bag. You know, except for what clearly is there. Her body's lean, covered in various scars, toned muscles of her abdomen quickly draw your eyes.
Done staring?
Only if it means I get to touch. The leather seat feels strange against your bare skin as she climbs on top of you and pushes you against it. Heat pulls in your belly as she bends down, dragging her teeth over your pulse point. You know, most people avoid teeth, zombies and all.
Like I said, I'm not most people.
Pretty much. Place your fingers behind the back of her neck, drag her into a kiss, crashing your lips together. She nips harshly at your lower lip, then deepens the kiss, licking into your mouth, so that even when you break away, you're left gasping for breath.
Already tired out?
Just getting started. She rolls one of your breasts in her hand and pinches your nip, making you yelp before she reaches down between your legs. Holy mother of what? You hooked up with Sledge, which, wow, that was long and lengthy. And yeah, sorry I had to censor it, because, you know, YouTube and all that. But as you come back to yourself, Sledge slides off of you and on the seat, stretching out her legs.
Not a bad way to spend the evening.
I think I need a while to recover from that.
Take your time, just don't expect any pillow talk.
I would never. Sledge pulls on her clothes, gets out of the car, leaving you to catch your breath alone. You stay there for a while until your heartbeat slows to a reasonable pace, and then you get dressed and head back to the lodge. Maybe I should check on some others. By the way, for all those people who are like, yeah, I really wish I could hook up with Sledge. Yeah, there was comments about that. Well, you got your chance there. Next up, I'm going with Shannon. Find Shannon sitting on the lawn. She smiles up at you as you approach. What do you say to getting out of here? I could use some quiet. Her eyes immediately fill with concern. Is everything okay? Just a lot on my mind. A lot on her face, too. I mean, what? Sorry, from the whole Sledge thing, it was quite interesting. Well, my lab's always open. Shannon leads you around the side of the lodge and round into her lab, where papers and boxes are scattered about, and the autopsy table is pushed against the wall. Sorry for the mess. I wasn't really expecting company. Not that I don't want it, just wasn't prepared, you know? You've really made this place your own. Oh, it's nothing special. This lab at the research outpost was far more advanced and organized, but I'm making do with what we've got. I wish we had more to give you. I didn't mean like that. Besides, it's only been a few weeks. After the solstice, we'll have plenty of time to focus on this. If we survive. We'll survive. We have to. Her words hang in the air for a moment before she shakes her head and grins. But since you're here, I can show you what I've been working on. She gestures to her workbench, which is full of metal canisters and all different labels. More anti-zombie gas? I've been stocking up. She snatches a series of samples from one of the refrigerators and holds them out to you. Tubes of blood. Are these from the zombies? No, probably Eli. A parasite doesn't survive very long outside the host, but a dead parasite can still tell us a lot. After some experimentation, I've isolated a portion of it that doesn't appear to harm a person's cells. It could be a beginning of a treatment. Seriously? I mean, obviously, I still need to test it on some actual zombies, and then people who have been bit, so on. But it's progress. So... what are all the plans for? Oh, some of them are emergency backup. We use their seeds to replant in case the zombies destroy most of our food supply during the surge. I haven't even thought of that. And the rest are various medicinal plants I've been testing to see if any of them can treat bites or prevent infection. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you brought me down here just to show off. She fiddles nervously with the hem of her shirt. I just wanted to show you how useful I can be. Useful? Of course you're useful. Who's saying you aren't? It's just, I'm not a fighter like Eli. I can't make zombie killing machines like Angel. I can't charm people with my words the way Troy does, or even lead them like you. This is all I'm good at. That's not... Yes, you're good at the science-y crap. You literally developed a pheromone thing. Like, I have to do my part to prove to everyone I'm not just a burden. Shannon... You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to do anything amazing to belong here. You just have to pitch in where you can, which you already do. But everyone resents the people from Sunflower Creek because they won't fight. They said as much in the talks today. And that means if I can't fight, that's their problem, not yours. I just keep thinking about the warehouse being trapped in the cabinet, unable to do anything. If I'd only been more capable, I could have fought off the zombies myself, and I wouldn't be so scared. Really, look at Eli. He was more than capable and still got bit. There's only so much you can do. You went through something horrible, Shannon. Of course it's affected you. But what if we need to go into a tight space? What if I can't do it and I put everyone at risk? That's a lot of hypotheticals. I just don't understand what you see in me. I'm worried you're gonna wake up one day and realize that whatever there is between us was a mistake. That's never gonna happen. Tears glisten in her eyes, threatening to overflow, and her voice trembles as she speaks. You promise? I promise. Small smile wicks its way onto her face as the tears drip down her cheeks. You pull her into a tight hug. She cries in your shoulder, tears soaking your shirt. The next time you're feeling like this, Shannon, you don't have to deal with it alone. I care about you, and I'm always here to listen. She takes a deep breath and straightens up, a genuine smile making its way onto her face. Thanks, Faith. You're a great friend. Now, why don't you show me what else you've been working on? You comforted Shannon in her lap. I really don't feel like sleeping. We'll go to Troy. Find Troy leaning against the side of the lodge, watching a group of young men and women laughing, drinking, some distance away. Well, never pegged you for a wallflower. Hey, even I have to like to be alone sometimes. At least this way, I know I'm in good company. Troy throws you a sidelong glance, smirking, and you roll your eyes. Troy Hassan, turning down a good time? I must be hallucinating. What says I'm not having a good time? For one, you're not drinking your moonshine. Of course I'm not, this stuff's lethal. But you made it! Exactly. You wouldn't believe how much sugar and ethanol are in it. Well, it's a good thing you made sure everyone in the colony had some. Not like we need to fight zombies anytime soon. Well, we'll be fine. And then snaps you out of a stupor like the fear of impending death. You let out a sigh as your mind drifts back to the other day, and Troy turns and gives you a once-over. You look like you need to get out of here. Too bad there isn't anywhere else to go. I might have a place, come on. Troy leads you onto the top floor of the lodge, opens the door at the end of one of the corridors, revealing a small room full of leather furniture, books, magazines, and other various knickknacks. Tucked in the back is a bar, and a couple bottles are sitting on top. When did you have time to do all this? If I tell you, you're gonna yell at me for shirking my chores. He turns on some kind of old-world music, and the two of you settle down on one of the couches, free propped up on the table. So what's the matter? It's nothing. I'm gonna stop you right there because I know you well enough to smell a bullshit answer from miles away. Look, if you don't want to talk to me about it, just say that. It's not that, it's just there's a lot on my mind, so much it sometimes feels like I'm drowning. I'm not sure I could put it all into words if I tried. Well then, why don't I help you forget about it, at least for a little while. He gets abruptly to his feet, makes his way over to the bar and pulls out 2 glasses and mixing a couple of liquors into them. If I had known you were feeling this bad, I tried to make a mamoul. What's that? Some kind of cookie my mother used to make, with nuts, dates inside. She always said they were for special occasions. What kind of occasions? Holidays, I think. I remember lots of people coming over. Tables full of food, cookies were always my favorite. But you don't remember what you were celebrating? Cut me some slack, Faith. I was only a few years old. It was a miracle I remember anything. Do you ever remember, or wish you remembered more, that you got more time with her? I wish for a lot of things. Good food, booze, someone hot to work my magic on. He winks at you before his expression turns more serious. But I'd rather enjoy things I can actually have. Wow, are you saying there's no one hot to work your magic on? Well, you're an ass. Troy rejoins you on the couch and passes you a glass. That doesn't sound like, or doesn't look like moonshine. Only the best for you. And where do you get the best? A good businessman never gives away his suppliers. Sip your drink, tentatively at first. The light citrusy flavors give way to a smoky aftertaste and you let out a pleasant hum. I'm glad my mixology skills haven't got too rusty. And here I thought you did this sort of thing all the time. Not much lately. Haven't had anyone I wanted to do it with. He takes a sip of his drink and then sets it down on the table and turns to you. You're welcome here whenever you want. I hate seeing you worn down like this, so if there's anything I can do to help you relax, to make you feel better. You're about to make a teasing remark when you meet his eyes, finding them full of warmth and care, even though he said you weren't hot at all. Troy, he rests his hand on yours, his presence so familiar, so comforting, that it makes your head spin in a way that liquor never could. If you want to help me relax, you can keep the drinks coming. You bump your shoulder playfully against his. I think you can manage that, Hassan. Seeing as you probably died, or you'd probably die if you tried to drink everything I got behind the bar, I think I'll be just fine. Don't underestimate me. I never do. He clinks his glass against yours, and you both take another sip, the alcohol washing pleasantly over your tongue. And if you ever do want to talk about whatever's bugging you, and you know where I'll be. Hip deep in some trouble and desperate need of my help? Damn right. Let me go. I wonder what anyone else is up to. Oh, look at that. I'm saving the best for last. Desperate to banish the thoughts swirling in your head, you make your way over to the fire pit where Angel's tending the flames. You come here often, stranger. She winks at you with a grin, and you find a smile making its way onto your face. Only when the company's good. You fall in a comfortable silence and stare into the flames, growing each time she pokes them. But when you look up, her eyes are trained on your face. You're staring. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily, just a little weird. I think we both know I'm more than a little weird. I prefer the term charming. She laughs. Sometimes I can't quite believe you're real and not just a dream. Angel, am I a good dream at least? The best, obviously, the kind of dream you hope you never wake up from. Well, I've got some good news. As long as we stick together, you'll never have to wake up. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. You turn back to the fire. Dirk's words, once again pushing their way into your mind. You shake your head, focusing on Angel. I wish I knew how you stayed so happy all the time.
Well, it was that or letting all the bad stuff drag me down and making me miserable. Pretty easy choice.
Sometimes I feel like the bad stuff is all I can think about. She watches you intently, worrying her lower lip between her teeth. After a second, she takes you gently by the wrist.
Come with me for a second. I'll show you some place where it's impossible to be sad.
Yeah, I don't think that's even possible. She leads you through the winding corridors of the lodge, stopping at a door painted with a bright yellow moon and stars. She stops you by pressing a hand to your chest. She was copping a field, damn it.
No, I've never let anyone in here, like ever. So you should feel pretty special and important right now.
Noted. With a bright smile, she swings the door open and leads you inside. The room is covering with large sheets attached to a ceiling, and with all manner of nails and screws. They drape down to form a tent, or more specifically, is this a blanket for her?
Yep, I made a lot of fancy contraptions in my time, but this is my magnum opus.
You follow Angel into the makeshift tent, which is full of multicolored pillows and blankets. You lay beside her and gaze at the canopy above. Constellations have been cut out of a lot of the fabric, and as the light filters through, it paints shapes on your skin. This is incredible.
It's the secret to my success. It's a bitch of a world out there, but it helps her to remember I have this cozy little spot to come home to. So whenever you're feeling down, you can sleep in here if you want. See if it helps.
I never really feel like I can take my mind off of everything. There's just so much to plan and so much to worry about. But in this place like this, I think maybe I could.
Then I'll call this a job well done.
Well, how you'd even learn how to do all this. I mean, your place back at the mall is decked out, but this is on a whole different level.
My dad and I would build these in the summer, when it was too hot to go outside.
Her face falls as she stares up at the ceiling and guilt churns in your stomach. Angel,
Don't, Faith. I may not have my parents anymore, but I'm still got the memories of them, of all the good times. I've got to hold on to that.
I hope we can make new memories. I don't want all the best stuff that's happening to me to be in the past. I've got to believe there's more waiting in the future.
Of course there is. I mean, in just the last few weeks I met all of you. I got to go to an amusement park. Who knows what else will come.
As long as you're around, it's sure to be wild.
That's the spirit.
She scoots closer and rests her head against her shoulder. Convinced that I'm really a...
I don't know, there's a solid chance you're an elaborate hallucination. Maybe I never really left the mall.
Angel, I'm not...
Because there's no way a strong, smart, funny, amazing person like you could be real. I mean, just look at you. You're gorgeous, and you're actually interested in me. It's just not possible.
You sit up so you can turn and put your hand on her shoulder, giving it a brief squeeze. I'm real, Angel. I'm real, and I'm right here. She peeks at you, her eyes bright, her expression achingly vulnerable.
How can I be sure?
Well, I guess I'll just have to prove it to you. By touching all of you. Kind of still on the ropes about this one. That way, if you go to sleep, wake up, I'm still here, and I can't be a dream, right?
The protector of Fort Savage would never leave her favorite person in the whole world unprotected by sleeping on the job.
And then what do you suggest?
This.
She grabs your arm, drags you back onto the pillows as you lie. She snuggles up close to you with a grin.
Much better.
I can't argue with that.
Should I call it a night? There's one more person I haven't talked to.
Air quotes. Talk. Thanks twice today, the Choices app is cursed. You find Eli sitting with his back against a tree, gazing up at all the twinkling stars. He jolts as you approach, relaxing the instant he sees you. I hope I'm not disturbing anything. I came out here to be alone. Oh, then I'll just...
I didn't say you had to go.
After a moment, he scoots to the side, and you quietly sit down beside him. He glances at you and then turns his gaze back towards the sky.
Something happened.
Just bad memories, that's all. What about you? What'd you come out here for?
Doesn't matter.
You are so stubborn.
Excuse me?
It's like trying to move a mountain. No matter how hard I push, you won't budge. Would it kill you just to tell someone how you feel for a change?
We're not having this conversation.
What the hell is your problem? I'm just asking you to tell me what's on your mind.
I'm telling you to drop it.
Is this because of earlier? Because I meant what I said. I can't imagine any other reason you'd get so pissed off because I asked how you are. He growls under his breath and clenches his fists at his sides.
God damn it, Faith, I care about you. More than I should.
That's a bad thing?
Yes, because I can't do it again.
His angry demeanor crumples into sorrow as he rubs a hand over his face.
I can't lose someone like that again. If I'd left more than a bruise, if I'd really hurt you that night, I could have never forgiven myself.
Put your hand on his shoulder. You've never really told me what happened to your family. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm here to listen. He sat in silence for a long time before he finally speaks again, a low tremor in his voice.
It was 3 years ago. I was out hunting for food. Normally my brother, David, would have been there with me, but my parents needed help patching the roof. When I got back, there were drone corpses everywhere, and there he was, just sitting on the porch crying.
Eli takes in a shaky breath.
He had Dad's gun, and he kept looking at his arm. It was so bloody you could hardly see it, and he was sobbing. He kept saying he couldn't do it. So I told him I was his big brother, and that I'd always look out for him. And he hugged me so tight. And then I shot him. I shot my own brother.
Eli.
And as I was closing his eyes, I heard a groan from inside. My parents were in there, and it was starting. So I did what I had to do.
His voice cracks, and you can feel him trembling beside you.
I can't help but think about what would have happened if I had stayed home, if I had been there.
Eli, I understand. I think about it all the time. If I hadn't said anything to that guard, if I hadn't followed Cassidy in the truck, Patricia would still be here.
I'm sorry I took you away from her.
You've seen your own family die. You didn't want me to go through the same.
It's something you can never forget.
You reach down and take his hand, running your fingers through his. If there's one thing I learned in the last few weeks, it's that you can't let the past define your future. We've lost so many people, and tomorrow isn't a guarantee, which is exactly why we have to live every day to the fullest.
It's not that easy.
No, it's not. It's hard as hell, but I know my sister would want me to find some kind of happiness in whatever time I've got left. I bet your family would want the same.
I don't want to lose you, Faith.
You haven't lost me. I'm right here. You gently cup his cheek, stubble along his jaw rough against your palm as you draw him into a kiss. He stiffens, and you can feel him warring with himself before he pulls you tight against his chest and presses his lips firmly to yours.
Faith, the things you do to me.
You wind your arms around his neck as he deepens the kiss, tracing the inside of your mouth as though trying to memorize it. As you break apart the kiss, you kiss the corner of his lips with a smirk, and he lets out a low groan. And what is it that I do? He kisses down the line of your jaw to your neck, his breath wafting over your skin and making you shudder against him. You gently stroke the back of his neck as his lips skim over your collarbone, and his tongue briefly darts over to lick over it.
You make me lose control.
He surges back to meet you in another charge cast, the heat building between you until it's too much to bear. As you tug at a scarf, he pulls away, panting for breath, and looks deep in your eyes, his own full of want.
Faith, are you sure?
I want you. You lean back enough to pull his armor off, tossing the pieces to the side before crashing your lips against his. You unbutton the top of his shirt while he slides his hands underneath, feeling along the toned plane of your stomach before nudging the fabric up. I'll let him help. You stretch your arms above your head so he can pull off the shirt and toss it to the side, the chilly night air warmed by the closeness of his body. You reach back to unclash your bra, and as you slip it off, he leans down to take one of your breasts into his mouth. Oh no. You hooked up with Eli. It wasn't as long as Sledge's scene. But yeah. As you come down from your high, you find Eli laying in the grass beside you, watching you warmly. When he catches you looking, he turns away and sits up, reaching for his clothing.
We should probably get back, for someone reports us missing.
He set up as well to place a gentle kiss on the back of his shoulder, and his breath hitches. Alright, but I want to know. I want you to know. I'm here for you. He glances back at you, a slimmer of affection still sparkling in his eyes.
I know.
The two of you get dressed and head out of the trees, back towards the lodge. Like 100+ diamonds today I used. Like, seriously. After a few fruitless hours of trying to sleep, you finally give up and wander back out to the colony lawn, breathing in the frigid air. Just a week left to prepare. You spot Mac patrolling the fence and a few other colonists wandering around as the sun starts to peek over the mountains. Then you hear a low growl that almost sounds like the roar of an engine. Max looks to you. You don't think the raiders... You hurry in the direction of the sound, unable to see anything past the thicket of metal sheeting your walls. Sledge wouldn't betray us, right? No, I'm 99.9% certain it's probably Dirk. You peer out through a slim hatch in the metal, a flicker of movement catching your eyes, and then a drone charges out of the darkness, slamming into the barrier. Towards the tower. You stumble back, looking out at the distant forest, only to see a mass of dark shapes swarming out of the trees and heading right for you. We're under attack! Yeah, but it still doesn't explain why there was an engine roaring all of a sudden. I'm really surprised we haven't got to, like, sit down with Dirk, kind of chill with him and get to know him and kind of, like, make him feel better himself, right? I really wish that was a thing. I really wish it was, because it's, you know, it's kind of like PR, you know, HR, PR, whatever way you want to look at it. So, food supply is our lowest, but we're doing good. We had plenty of food. Fighters, good. Research, great. Morale, great. So food supply is what we'll have to be working on. But we're pretty much feeding everybody. No one's starving. No one's, you know, dying. We're doing great. I mean, even everyone, you know, at the party, clearly we're meeting some expectation of the game that we're doing great on food. You know, there was plentiful amounts. So, without further ado, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Head down to the description below. Links to social media, Discord, and feelings to support me and my content. Without further ado, I'll go ahead and say this. I'm sorry that I was late on this, right? Just been feeling really under the weather, just haven't been feeling well. There was a lot of stress, anxiety, and whatnot that happened just recently. And just, you know, I talk a little bit about these things on our stream, so if you want to, if you ever want to watch, you can do recaps or come in live. I'm over on Twitch when I stream. Yeah, it'd just be great to have you over there, but, you know, just a lot's been going on. And been doing a ton of gaming over there, Yesterday, I just didn't have it in me to do voices. I even tried to demo a visual novel, and I didn't even have it in me, and it was probably, I'd say 10, 15 minutes long. I'm gonna be real, the whole entire demo for it. And reading that, I just didn't even have it in me to read normally, like I'm speaking right now, let alone do voices. I just didn't have it in me. So that's why choices, you know, one, Wake the Dead actually coming back was, you know, something that I wasn't anticipating because I haven't been paying attention to choices. Because I've been actually doing VIP, you know, and they don't really release much in VIP, you know. So, yeah. So don't buy VIP. That's why I'm doing this. Like I said, over 100 diamonds today. Make sure to support the channel. It's a great way of going, hey, you're doing this, and you're giving us the content. Besides the NS, not safe work content. Yeah, no, sorry, no one can cover that. No one can cover it because YouTube has really cracked down. So keep that in mind. The only way I can think of ever putting out the content, especially for, say, for instance, Surrender, is to put that up on like Patreon or something. So again, looking for more interest in that. It's also a great way of supporting the channel for tiny, like a buck, just a buck. It's a great way of supporting on a monthly basis, keep in mind. A buck a month? Like, think about that. That's 3 cents a day. If you really want to crack that bad boy down, 3 pennies. 3 pennies a day. For the low cost at 3 pennies a day, if everyone gave a little bit, and just saying. Alright, thanks for watching. Peace out.